To bring in the Russian chess grandmaster and world champion Garry Kasparov, and the reason is he is as staunch of a critic on the world stage of Vladimir Putin as anybody. Garry, it's good of you to be here. Protesters taking to the streets in Russia knowing they're going to be arrested. Looks pretty courageous. I mean, I wonder what happens to people who get arrested for something like that in St. Petersburg.
Many of them will be locked for a few days. It's from 5 to 30 days. But some of them will be facing criminal charges, and they will probably spend years behind bars. That's typical for Putin's Russia. So I'm very proud to see that thousands of people made to the streets in Russia yesterday and today. And it demonstrates that Kremlin propaganda about massive support for this criminal war in Ukraine has widespread support among Russian population. It's absolute lie, and we could see that ordinary Russians, apolitical Russians, they are protesting, even knowing that this is not a protest in New York or in Paris or in London, that you will end up behind bars, you could be badly beaten, or just you can lose the job. So many consequences, but people still believe they have to show their position and solidarity with Ukraine.
What do you make of how the rest of the world's responding to this?
Depends. I'm happy to see the solidarity from ordinary people. As for the politicians, I'm appalled. These people that made this war possible, for years and years, they didn't want to see Putin's preparation for the war. I disagree with your correspondent who said Putin had no clear objectives. He does have clear objectives.
He told us what it is.
No, he has been saying about it for years.
Wants to reestablish the Soviet Empire.
Ukraine was Putin's obsession for years. So he never believed Ukraine was an independent state. And he said it many times. He kept repeating it. And Russian propaganda over the last few years after annexation of Crimea, 24/7 had been saying that Ukraine was not a real state. And the time would come when Russia will acquire it and take it what it belonged to Russia. So now no secrets. So wow, I'm shocked that people are still surprised. Oh, Putin is attacking Ukraine from 3 directions. Putin has been amassing troops for months. He even brought Russian warships from the Pacific. So and to say it's a surprise, and American intelligence, by the way, warned for quite a while, so that the invasion was imminent. And I can be nothing but shocked by the response of the Western politicians. And sanctions that they announced, that could be good in 2014 after annexation of Crimea. Maybe that would do a job 6 months. When Putin first, demonstrate his intention to invade Ukraine. But now it's too little, too late.
On Twitter, Garry, you laid out how to checkmate Putin, and as you put it, support Ukraine militarily, bankrupt Putin's war machine, freeze and seize Russia's finances, kick Russia out of every financial institution. So in your opinion, has NATO gone far enough?
No, you showed this priorities. Now, speaking about Russian financial institutions and Putin's war machine, the American sanctions, they came short of attacking Sberbank and Central Bank, 2 key Russian financial institutions. As for isolation of Russia, so American ambassador and ambassadors of NATO are still in Moscow. Recall ambassadors, kick Russia from international organizations, from sport organizations to Interpol, and of course, arm Ukraine. I'm afraid it's late. Many brave Ukrainians died fighting superior Russian firepower because Ukrainian army is outgunned, but not outmanned. Ukraine has a massive army with a lot of experience, but Russia has superior weapons. And for many months, actually for years, the free world refused to arm Ukraine. Germany, many times, rejected Ukraine's plea to give them some weapons. And now, of course, just as in modern warfare, even if you have brave soldiers, but without sufficient sophisticated weapons, they can do very little. Yes, javelin's fine, but what about air defense systems and many other things that the West could supply, and to turn Ukraine into the graveyard for Putin Armada.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.